come and gone. Once again, the men of the old AIF marched through the streets, thronged with cheering crowds, come to pay them their tributes of admiration and homage. Anzac Day is, as no other day is or can be, Australia's day. This year we commemorated it under the dark shadow of another world war. Once again the destinies of mankind hang upon the issue, and all that the Anzacs fought, bled and died for is at stake. As in other days, I took my place in the crowd to watch the procession. The men were in great heart, but the spirit of Anzac was undimmed. Among them I saw many faces of old friends, as well as innumerable others who greet me thus each year. My mind turned back to the day the first Anzacs marched down these streets to the waiting transports. What a day that was! Its memories will last as long as life itself. Even after all these years, I can recapture the emotion that surged through me. Our prayers went with them, untried, unheralded, sailing away into the unknown, but destined to win for themselves an immortal name. The years have rolled on, and once again Anzacs have marched through the streets and sailed away from the same port to the far-off land where their fathers went long ago. Time has brought its changes. The transports of today are Leviathan liners, but the men of the second AIF are of the same breed as those of the first. Their character moulded on the heroic Anzac tradition. And following in the footsteps of their fathers, the second AIF went to Egypt to guard the Suez Canal, the gateway to Australia, and to prepare by intense training under scorching suns and icy winds for the great desert campaign that electrified the world. The great day dawned. The army of the Nile was on its way. The 6th Division, with Bren gun carriers and a handful of tanks, was one of the infantry units supporting an English mechanized division. The 0 hour outside Bardia found the Australians coolly confident. The attack proved brilliantly successful, and once again the world rang with the fame of the Australians, this time for their outstanding part in the capture of Bardia, where they were up against an enemy superior in numbers and amply equipped with the most modern armament. Tobruk and then Benghazi fell in rapid succession, and with the capture of the desert fort of Jarabad, the campaign was virtually won. The vaunted Roman eagle lay mortally wounded. Cyrenaica, a graveyard of her boasted power. Stretching back over hundreds of miles of desert with almost limitless booty. No matter what has happened since, nothing can detract from the Empire's conquest in Cyrenaica. Equipment, the accumulation of years of Italian preparation, the cost of which brought them to the verge of bankruptcy, equipment almost irreplaceable in Italy's present condition. But above all, her North African army had been disintegrated. Thousands killed, 145,000 captured, thus virtually ending Italy as an individual military force in this theatre of war. But in this war as in the loft, the tide of battle ebbs and flows. The Anzacs, triumphant over Italy today, face Germany, a far deadlier enemy, an enemy of steel, with tanks in seemingly endless array. In mechanized war, equipment is vital. Without parity of armament, victory cannot be achieved. We must match her Panzer tank divisions with armored divisions of our own. want to hold Australia and to retain our liberties, we must put everything else aside and, stripped to the waist, work for our lives. The Nazi blitzkrieg must be countered. The Empire must and will give blow for blow. But we cannot do this by words or by treading the rose-strewn leisurely way. Equipment, equipment, and again equipment. Without adequate equipment, we cannot win this war.
We can make guns, tanks, and munitions all right, but we need more men, more workers to keep the machines going 24 hours a day. We want to tell the diggers one thing. We won't let them down.
Our war effort must be doubled and redoubled. Men and more men, guns and more guns, ships and more ships, and planes and more planes. We must meet force with greater force to successfully challenge and destroy this horror that has been let loose upon the world. For Australia can say that she is pulling her full weight in the empire, in the winning of the war. Every individual, man and woman, must cooperate to the utmost.
I believe that in this great world conflict, we are facing a great struggle in defense of Christian civilization against an aggressive and ruthless paganism. Therefore, we may ask for God's blessing on our arms and believe that we shall have that blessing, because with all our shortcomings, we still, as an empire and as a nation, are trying to do what is right and therefore to do God's will. And we believe that if so, we may claim his blessing on our arms.
Before vastly superior numbers and overwhelming superiority of equipment, the Anzacs have been driven back. They have evacuated Greece as their fathers evacuated Gallipoli, but their spirit is unbroken, as was theirs. And they will go on through storm and travail to final victory. In Churchill's soul-stirring words, "Come then, let us to the task, to the battle and the toil, each to our part, each to our station. Fill the armies, rule the air, pour out the munitions, strangle the U-boats, build the ships, and honor the brave. Let us go forward together in all parts of the empire. There is not a week, nor a day, nor an hour to be lost."